She asked, can they hear us?
Good evening, guys. Hey, what's going on? Live from Starbucks.
Hey, everybody.
In between things, just got off of work. Getting ready for an event at 7 o'clock, so we're not gonna be on here long. But we wanted to lift something up with you guys. I know y'all see the title. Let us know if y'all can hear us as well. If everybody joining in. Thank each and every one of you guys. Let us know if you can hear us because we got the headphones in. We didn't want to be loud in Starbucks.
Yeah,
But
we didn't want to be too loud.
let us know if you can hear us on this thing right now. God bless each and every one of y'all. I know y'all have had a blessed and productive week, and the reason why I know it's blessed and productive is because you're still here and you're still alive. So we're going to lift this thing up. We're going to talk about it. Again, let us know if y'all can hear us. Let us know if y'all can hear us. Very, very good. Hello, Miss Bridget. Hello, Danielle.
Hello,
we're going to lift
everybody.
it up. Each and every one of you guys. Like I said, I know you guys have had a wonderful weekend. Well, wonderful week because you're still alive.
Amen.
And that's if we don't have no other reason to tell God thank you, we'll just tell God thank you for being alive.
Amen. Thank you.
You know, before we go a step further, it's always good to welcome the presence of God into each and everything that you do. Black, what's going on, brother? So again, we just want to thank God on this thing, on this Friday evening, and just thank God for everything that He's doing in this season. I want to tell you guys congratulations before we get started. Congratulations on your new season. Congratulations on making it this far. Congratulations because the hard part is over. I don't know who that's for on today, but congratulations. And the reason why we say congratulations because it's in preparation for what God is going to do. It's anticipation for what God is going to do. So is there anybody that just says, I thank God for my health and my strength? I may not be the healthiest, I may not have the most, but again, I thank God for each and everything that He's doing. And so we're going to lift it up and talk about it, but it's always a pleasure and a privilege just to tell God thank you for everything that He's doing. If you guys keep seeing LaJoy look up, it's because she's made a little friend, and he keeps a little boy, look like he's about 3 or 4 years old. He keep making eye contact and waving at it. It's cute. So if y'all see her looking up, that's just her playing with a little friend. Y'all know she friendly. Talk to anybody.
First of all, it's not a bad thing.
Amen. But again, we thank each and every one of you guys on tonight. Listen, it's called, the title is, How Do I Know That They Love Me? How do I know that they really love me? And this is something a lot of people struggle with. This is something that a lot of us really don't know. Let's be honest. When we're in relationships, some of us are in relationships right now, and we don't even know if this person loves us for real.
Yeah.
We think they love us. We think that they're there to support us. We think that they, are the one for us. But how do we know that somebody loves us for real? How do we know that this is the one that God has called for us? How do we know that this relationship is going to last? How do we know that even if this friendship is going to last?
Yeah.
And so we're going to lift it up and talk about it a little bit, guys, and we want all the feedback. And so I have to say this. Number one indicator that a person loves you for real, here it is. Y'all ready for this? Number one indicator is that they commit to you.
Yeah, that's true.
Somebody going to miss that right there. The number one way to find out if somebody really loves you, and I know we're going to talk about support, and we're going to talk about kinship and all that type, courtship and all those type of things. But the number one reason, I need somebody to receive this on tonight, the number one reason that you find out if somebody loves you for real is if they commit to you. Because it's easy for somebody to commit to you in the bedroom. Y'all ain't gonna talk back to me on this thing. It's easy for somebody to commit to you when y'all at church or when y'all in Bible studies. It's easy for somebody to commit to you when you got your hair, your nails done, or fellas, when you got a haircut and a pocket full of money. It's easy for somebody to commit to you. But a serious commitment, here it is, a serious commitment says that I'm going to look beyond myself. And even when things aren't going right, I'm going to stay committed. Even when it doesn't look good, I'm going to stay committed. So the number one thing we're going to look at is, how does this person really love me? How do I identify as if they really commit to me?
Well, again, when you say that, can you love me through the ugly, the good, and the bad?
Right.
Like, of course, everybody's favorite saying, if you don't like me at my worst, then why would you even try to be with me at my good times or at my best times?
That's true.
I mean, that's a big thing, but that's something that you have to really stand strong on.
Right.
Because that's one thing to say, but it's another thing to actually live it and believe it.
That's true.
You know what I mean? So it's more of like, I mean, you can't give yourself all in to a person because to every person,
right?
Because every person is not for you.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
That's
so
true.
a lot of people, like they say, they come in our life for a reason or for a season. You know, so we can't like fully commit to everybody that we deal with.
So dealing with this commitment thing, because I want, especially women, I want you guys to understand and realize this. A man can buy you anything that you want. A man can show up at your mom's house. A man can wine and dine you and take you out. But until he learns how to commit, he doesn't really love you. Can I say ouch right there? Because a lot of people don't understand that. It's easy for the words to roll off your lips, but watch this. You can say, you can support this woman, you can be there for her, but until you learn how to commit, that's what love is. Because commitment says is that I'm with you and only you.
Yeah.
Commitment says that no matter what it is we go through, no matter what somebody else may look like, no matter how appealing or pleasing it may be, I love you enough to stay committed through the good and the bad.
That's
and
true.
so don't think that materialistic things just simply means that somebody loves you or somebody wants to be with you or somebody wants to spend the rest of their life with you, because if they really want to, they would commit to you outside of anybody else.
Because those things are materialistic things.
Right.
Like when you have like all these things like gifts and all that, you can buy that to somebody else. You can buy that for, another person, another man, another woman, whatever your preference is. But when a person gives you their heart, their trust, their loyalty,
That's it. I'm glad you said that.
That is
I'm
something
glad you
strong
said that.
to the point where I know, like, wow, this person really trusts me with this. This
Right.
person really is loyal to me.
Right.
Like, he actually is doing his thing for me. Like, looking out for Joy, making sure Joy good. As far as like, it's more than getting your hair and nails done. But what about my feelings?
I'm glad you said that, because I'm gonna say this for them. I'm glad you said that. That's how I know this is confirmation, y'all. And this ain't rehearsed. We just getting on here, just
Real
giving a
raw.
segment. And so I'm glad you said that, because God spoke. God says, watch this. I want you guys to receive this. If y'all don't hear anything else, God says, don't settle for anything other than the heart.
Yeah.
Somebody's gonna miss that. I want you guys to receive that. Don't settle for anything other than the heart. Because some people settle for the pocketbook.
Yep.
Somebody settles for the kids just because we got kids together. Somebody settles for the nice thing.
and for the
But
sex.
God says don't settle for the sex.
Just to be
That's true.
blunt.
Just because the sex is good. That is so true. And so God is saying don't settle for anything else. Don't settle for anything else other than the heart. Because watch this, the heart, the Bible says out the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. And so what are you saying on today? Is when it comes from the heart, when it comes from within, then you know it's genuine.
Yeah.
Then you know they really care. Because I hate to see this in today's society. We claim to be we claim to be so in love and so in tune, but we don't really even care about each other's feelings. It's like, okay, you feeling down or you got an attitude, I'm gonna go on to the next chick. Or when you mad and you don't want to talk, okay, I'm gonna talk to the next dude until you get it back together. And understand that's not love, because here it is again. Love is commitment. Love is commitment through the good and the bad things. If I love you enough, I'm going to care about your feelings as well.
I'm glad, but commitment comes with a self thing as well. Because if you if you never been in a committed situation, where if it was a job, whether it was like just a friendship and things that you just quick to have and then you want to go, so you would never know what a real commitment is or a real relationship is until you have to experience it yourself. And I'm not just saying in the relationship, outside of a relationship before you can be committed in a relationship.
That is so good. I hope y'all hearing that. That is so good, because a lot of times we look for a relationship to be our first true commitment when we haven't committed to anything.
Yep.
Whether that's
because you may say, you said, like, not to cut you off, you may say like, well, I'm gonna be there at 7. That's a commitment that you made to somebody else.
Commitment.
But here you are coming there at 9 o'clock.
Right.
I'm gonna be at the church at 11 o'clock, and let the
Yes.
church start at 10:30.
Yes.
But you have to make those commitments outside of a relationship
true.
first.
That's true. We're going to take a comment from Chevette. Chevette says, I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. I'm bad with names. I'll butcher them. Chevette says, love is unconditional. You can't put stipulations on how and why you love. Yeah. And you can't put stipulations on when you love. I love that, because that is so true. Real love. Because we live in a world now where love is a facade. We throw that word alone. We sling it all out there. But I love that, because real love is unconditional.
Yeah.
You cannot put stipulations. You cannot put boundaries. You cannot put anything on that. And so what happens is, watch this, a lot of times we look for somebody to do what we don't even do ourselves.
Exactly.
How is it that you want me to love you? How is it that you signing me up for a job to be committed to you, and you never even committed to yourself? You never even loved yourself unconditionally. You never been in a season where you say, I'm not going to talk to anybody. You never been in a season where you say, I'm going to do this just for me, or I'm just going to inspire to get myself better. You've always looked for some type of relationship, whether it was good,
like
whether
that.
it was bad, whether it was negative, whether it worked or not. You just said you always cling to something, saying that I need some type of outside love. But when you learn how to love yourself unconditionally,
Yeah, and that's what Miss Crystal Strong said. She said you have to make your happy in you. How to love yourself to cause can't nobody love you like you.
God love us with the everlasting. God can show us how to love, because our love will not last, but God love lasts forever.
Ever.
If we do
No,
it God's
God's
way.
way.
That's
so true.
Yeah, that's so true.
That's
because
in-depth. Like, that's what I was just about to say. Like, that's true.
if we look at the way God intended for us to love and the way God wants us to love, it will fascinate your mind. I mean, it will shock you to the point where, and I had to look at that as well, because the Bible says no greater love than this, than a man lay down a life for a friend. And so here it is. If they're not willing to lose some things, if they're not willing to sacrifice, if they're not willing to basically go to hell and back for you, then that's not love. That's
true.
not love, because real love says that no matter what it is, I'm going to stick this out with you.
Yeah, but it also, sorry,
No,
it also
talk.
should be, it has to be a two-way street, to the point like you're not the only one just going making sure this person is good and you going hell and back for this person, but this person's supposed to come too, you know,
Wow, that's
going hell
true.
and back for you as
That's
well.
true.
I mean, it just can't be a one-side street, but
That's
now it's like that in 2018, and it's probably been like that longer than that,
One
but
of my-
it's now being exposed to the point it's a one-sided thing.
One of my favorite songs, and I know y'all saved on here. Y'all ain't never heard this. I forgot who made it. The girl that made it, she said, I love you enough for the both of us.
I know what you're
Remember
talking
that?
about, yeah.
She's like, I love you enough for the both of us. And so in this,
Janae, is that Janae?
I don't know, but I used to
Uh-uh.
love that song until I sat down and I thought about it, and I said, that's where we are in this generation. That's where we are in today's day and age, where it says that you don't have to love me. I love you enough for the both of us. You don't have to love yourself or love me. And so what happens is, I love that she said that, because I know y'all ain't never been through it, but I've been in some one-sided relationships.
Yep, I have
I've been in
too.
some relationships where it seems like as soon as if I can do for them, but when I needed them, they were never there. And so now we live in a generation where everybody is so selfish, saying, what can I take?
Yeah,
What can I get from them, and what can I do this? And now you have a person that's really loving, that's really genuine, being taken advantage of, because they say, oh, it's okay, you don't have to worry about it. I love you enough for the both of us.
Yeah.
I'll support you enough for the both of us. I'll be there enough for the both of us. But what happens is, why does the lover always get left out?
And the lover always be the one. It's crazy because, and also just to add on what you said, like you saying that they saying all these things, they saying it to the wrong person that don't even
true.
know how to be loved.
Right.
Or, I mean, you just never know. So it's always good to build friendships. It's always, and it's also good to know where this person's background
That's
come
so
from.
true. That's
so if like your relationship with your parents probably be off, let's see why are they off. You know.
And so now you have a bad relationship, or you wonder why you're in and out of relationships, but you
Yeah.
never really had a real relationship with your parents.
Yeah.
Wow.
It could be something deep.
Deeper
it
than
could be
just- wow,
something
that's-
deeper
oh
than
my
just
God,
that,
that is
where
good.
daddy probably never
so
told you
good.
he loves you. Your mama
Yes.
probably never hugged you. Somebody probably never said you're beautiful. So when a
Or they
person
only
tells
loved you when you were
or
doing good.
or when you're doing something for them. So
But the moment your grades start slipping, or the moment that you didn't recite
Throw in
every
your
word,
face.
they want to throw it back in your face. Wow.
Oh,
and
you
so,
ain't gonna be nothing.
And so a
Oh,
lot of
so,
us
yeah.
don't know how to receive love because we never got love. Wow.
That's
dude,
what
are
I'm
y'all
saying.
hearing that?
That's
She
why I
dropping
say
nuggets on this thing,
it comes
y'all.
to a point where you have to actually investigate.
Yes.
It's more than just, oh yeah, we're gonna be together, just jumping in. No, you just can't jump into every relationship.
true.
You can't jump into every commitment before you even try to make a commitment. This is something I just want to share. Like, do not jump into every commitment. And the reason why I say that, because you just never, you want to protect yourself, and you want to protect that person as well, because it could be hurt somewhere in there,
Right.
and you could be drawn away
And before you
like
tie
that.
yourself into this is good, y'all. I hope y'all receiving this. Share this, bless somebody with it. And so I love what you said, because before you involve any type of ties, or before you go to the next level, you have to give yourself enough time to investigate.
Yeah.
You have to give yourself enough time to learn somebody and get the background, because
Exactly.
you never know what you're getting yourself
'Cause
tied into.
you will know how to love them.
Right.
Because let's just say you may only know about soft love, but I know about hard love. Like you have,
Ooh,
you know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah.
Or you probably don't know what love is, but you know what appreciation is. So it comes a time where you have to balance it out, where you have to learn how can I love this person?
And see, I love that, because this is what happens far too much, far too quickly, and I've been there, y'all. So we're not gonna get on here and talk to y'all about something that we haven't lived, that we haven't went through with each other and outside of each other. What happens is we give too much too quickly.
Yeah. Is that
We give too much too quickly,
'Cause I've
and
done
with giving too much too quickly, now you find yourself stuck out, and now you find yourself with somebody taking advantage of you when you didn't even take enough time to learn the motives and where they come from.
Yeah.
Because everybody can look good. Everybody, I know y'all want a godly man. He can quote scriptures and he can pray and do all of those type of things. But the moment you give somebody what they really came for, boom, then you see the real side of them. And so if he came for the bedroom, if he came for sex, if he came for all of these alternative things, if he came just because you look good, or he came just because you were vulnerable, the moment they feel like they got what they really wanted, then you see the real side of them.
They filled out the application. Now you need to do orientation.
Yes. That's good. Oh, somebody missing that.
They filled
Somebody
out the
missing that.
application. Now it's time to do orientation.
Now it's time to do orientation. And so what happens is you go through orientation before you even start working. And then I love this, because in orientation, they're teaching you everything about the job. They're teaching you everything about the company.
themselves.
They're teaching you everything about the company and all of these type of things. And then watch this. After you get through orientation, a lot of people quit in orientation because they say it's
Exactly.
boring. I don't want to sit there for
It's
2 days and go
boring,
through this. And I'm
this
not
not
learning
something I'm
nothing.
looking
It's not
for.
something that I'm interested in.
I found
And
something
then-
better.
And then, say that. Now we're gonna get to the end. Well, we're gonna get to the end of that. Let's work. I love this orientation thing. We're gonna bring that back and do something
like
with it
that?
right there. Yeah, we're gonna work this right
Okay.
here. And so watch this. So you have orientation. Then you have those that say, I really want something out of orientation, so they stay. And then you have something that kind of interested in it, so they stay. And then I love this, because after orientation you start the job. But then after you start the job, you go through something that's called a probationary period.
Yeah, for 30 days.
30 or 90,
It could be
depending on
30 or
where
90,
you are.
yeah, it is.
But the gist of it is you go through a probationary period. So until we make you full-time, and here it is, until we know that you're qualified, you have to do these type of things in order to say that you're going to be a part of our team permanently.
Yeah.
Because while you're on probation, you're temporary. And so I love this, because when you're on probation, you can't call in. You can't come in late. You can't miss no days. You can't come with all these excuses and all these type of things like that. And so what happens is the same thing needs to apply to our life. When somebody puts in an application saying that they want you, oh man, I'm getting excited. I'm finna go crazy in Starbucks. This girl is blessing me. Oh my God, this girl is blessing me. Same thing happens in our life. I'm trying to contain it, y'all. I'm trying to contain it. Same thing happens in our life. Watch this. When somebody applies for you, when somebody says that I want to be with you, when somebody says that you are the one for me, you have to make them go through orientation.
Yeah.
Give them your backdrop and let them know, hey, this is who I
And give
am.
them a
This is what I stand for. And then after they go through the probationary period, well, listen, if you want me, you can't go a day without talking to me.
Yeah.
Y'all better be real on this thing right now.
That's
Listen,
true.
if you want me, we ain't going to the bedroom. We
Make
can
them
go
work
to the
for
proud
something.
room.
Make them
We
work
can go
for
to
something.
church. Exactly. Make them work for something. You can't call in sick. You can't call in late. You can't pick me up and drop me off. And so here it is. And then if I find out you working 2 jobs, that's why you slacking on this one.
Bye. You're fired.
Y'all ain't gonna help us on this thing tonight. The reason why you slacking, I understand that you might have been tired, you might have forgot to call or whatever, but I found out the reason why you slacking is because you're trying to balance between multiple jobs. You gotta go. I'm sorry. And so now you find yourself in a particular situation with somebody, and the reason why is because you didn't make them go through a probationary period.
That's true.
And then even after your full time, you have to accumulate hours in order to have vacation, in order to have sick time. What do you say? You have to build these type of things up. Now wait a minute, because if I don't know who you really are, you can't just be catching no attitude with me. You can't just be raising your voice. You can't be saying and doing all these things. And so you will never get to a point in a relationship where you got that much leeway. And if you got that much leeway, that mean they leading somebody else in. As soon as you on your way out, y'all better talk back to me and be real on this thing. You cannot be in a relationship with somebody that says they do not care about what you do, what you say, and all these type of things. Because the moment they say that, that means that they are not
They
interested.
entertaining something else.
Exactly.
That's just
They
being
are not
period.
interested
They
because
interested.
I care.
they interested, but they interested in something else as
Yes,
well.
God.
You're not the only thing that's got their
back to
attention
that-
right
that's
now.
back to that commitment.
It's back to that commitment.
And
So everything comes with commitment, because
Yes.
when you, like when we say, when we filling out a job application, that's the first step to commitment. And when we doing the orientation, that's another commitment, because we said that after they said you got the job,
Right.
you know, we made another commitment saying, okay, I'm going to go to this 3-day orientation or however long. And then they say, okay, well, you did so good. Are you still ready? They steady asking questions. Are you still, because
Yes.
you've been doing good for orientation. You've been doing good for orientation. Are you ready? Yeah, I'm ready. Okay, we're gonna have to put you on probation for 90 days. So are you ready? Then look, you can't. So you
Yes.
putting it out. You putting it out already. And don't be afraid to have these boundaries and things going on. You have to be frank, upfront about
I
it.
love this. Can we say this? I love this. This gonna bless somebody right here, guys. So when you're on a new job, no matter what your background is, no matter what you've done, when you're on a new job and you don't have experience in it, because anybody, I don't care if they've been married before, they ain't never been married to you before. I don't care if they dated and oh yeah, you're gonna catch it in a minute. I don't care if they dated and they've been in a relationship. And so watch this. I don't care about any of that. The first step, watch this, when you're at a new job, when you're at a new company and you have no experience, because like here it is, nobody has experience with you. They bring you in on something called an entry level position. They don't bring you in as a manager. They don't bring you in as a supervisor.
Because they don't know what your work ethic
right.
is.
You may have experience, but you never had experience in this.
Not
Why is
him.
it that we bring people into our life as a best friend status and we just met them yesterday? Why is it that we bring somebody in our life and say, you hubby and you all of these
My
type
king.
of things, my king, my queen? And watch this. No, you got to learn how to bring people in at the entry level position, because when you bring them in at the entry level position, you see how much they really want it, because it's easy for somebody to be motivated and satisfied when they come in on salary. But when you bring somebody in at minimum wage, I'm not saying dog them out, but you make them earn and keep.
They have to earn it.
Yes.
They have to earn you because you're valuable. Like we
Yes.
all valuable, and you have to make them work for something. Like we work to get that paycheck.
Yes.
You are valuable. You are a value, so they have to work to get you. They have to work to get your attention. They have to work to,
We got one coming in from, it caught my eye, from Kalina Winham. I know this sounds silly, but what are the first steps to loving yourself? Oh, this is good here. The first step, let me say this. We are not married yet, Miss Toya. No, we are not. We're not married yet. We're aspiring. We getting there. I promise you we getting there. Miss Kalina, you don't sound silly. A lot of people will say it's silly,
It's
but
not,
it's
'cause
not,
we all-
because
we
watch
all
this.
get in that point.
You're looking at two broken people that didn't know how to love themselves. We was fighting each other
Yes.
because we didn't know how to love each other, when in actuality we didn't know how to love ourselves.
That's true.
So we were saying, oh, you don't support me, or oh, you don't love me like this, or oh, you're not there for me, and all these type of things, and why you do this, and why you shy away certain times, and why you shut down certain times. And the reason why we were doing these things, we thought it was each other, but we weren't even loving ourselves.
That's true.
We weren't even being there for ourselves. And so what happened was we were putting expectations on each other that we didn't even have for ourselves.
Exactly.
I was expecting her to be this perfect woman, and I wasn't even this perfect man. Y'all ain't gonna help us on this thing. I hope
Talk
somebody
about
getting
it,
this
people.
real talk right now. And so the first thing, I think somebody said it in the comment section, and we're gonna lift it up, because the first thing you do in loving yourself is getting back to the point of loving yourself. The first thing that you have to do is to go back to your past and say, what caused me to have these insecurities?
Yeah.
What or who caused me to feel like this about myself? What or who caused me to get to the point where I say I don't even know what love is anymore? And when you revisit those things, I know it's gonna hurt. I know it's gonna suck. We're not gonna sit up here and sugarcoat it to you. But when you get to the origin, when you get to the roots of these type of things, because I love this, because a lot of people, we talk about generational curses, but in order to get a curse reversed, you got to go back down to the generation where it started at. So where did this love take place at? And you have to really sit down and ask yourself, where did I fall off loving myself? I don't care if you got to go through old pictures in your Facebook. I don't care if you got to pull out your old flip phone that you had back in the day, or that boyfriend that loved you, abused you, and left you for your best friend. And so here it is. I want to explain this to you guys. You have to get back to the place of origin and say, this is where I lost it at. This is where I lost my love at. This is where I didn't value myself at. This is where I got to the point where I was extremely insecure. So the first step of getting back to loving yourself, it's saying that where did I lose it at?
Yeah.
Where did I lose it at? Get back to the place of where you lost it at. And I promise you, when you get back to the place of where you lost it at, you will be able to love yourself again. So don't try to love somebody else. Don't try to be there for somebody else until you learn how to be there for yourself, because what's going to happen is you're going to be bitter and you're going to become envious of what everybody else having on.
That's true.
And you think that it's because you don't have anybody. No, it's because you haven't found out who you are.
Yeah, and another thing on that as well, with women, once we've been loving ourselves, we can't even look into the mirror, because I was at that point, I couldn't even look at myself in
you
the mirror.
posted about that the other
yeah,
day.
I posted that,
Yeah.
and I didn't even see myself as being beautiful, because I wasn't being told that. I couldn't even see it as myself because I was being, it was just so many things. So one thing is about like actually loving who you are and actually looking in the mirror, because what I started was looking in the mirror, and I actually started smiling, because I couldn't even smile. So I was like looking in the mirror and I was smiling, and from smiling, and that's crazy because I smile a lot now than I ever did before. And that's one thing you have to do. You look in the mirror and you start smiling, and take a picture every day. That's one thing I challenge myself to do.
Wow,
I
that's
took
good.
a selfie every day, and the reason why I took a selfie every day, just to see the growth and where I was into where I am now.
Yes.
And that's something that was powerful for me.
That's
And I get
It's
teary
okay.
eyed, but
It's okay.
it's
It's
something that's really detrimental. But it's another thing. It's a stepping stone to being who you really are on the inside, and loving you for you, despite what anybody else have to say. Because a person could tell you anything that you don't already know.
That's true.
Or that you
That's
already
true.
know about yourself. They can say, "Oh, you got a big nose," or "You got blemishes." That's something you know
Yes,
already.
that's
So
true.
it's just some. Thank you.
I know.
Appreciate it. So it's just.
I'm gonna say it like this, because we love to give you guys biblical context. We love to give you guys biblical context, and I think two people said it. Somebody said, "Speak over yourself."
Yeah.
Another person said, "Encourage yourself." Watch this. Biblical context, and I know this is confirmation for each and every one of you guys on here. We know y'all being blessed by this, because everything we're getting ready to speak, you guys are speaking it into existence before it even oozes out of our mouth. So I know this is nobody but God, and so I want you guys to receive this. There was a story of a certain man by the name of David. Some of you guys may know him, the one that slew Goliath, the one that fought the lions and the bears, the one that was anointed as king. Well, David had a problem, and his problem was he went off to war. He went off to battle. Where are you going with this? I'm going to catch y'all in a minute. He went off to battle, and when he conquered it, they were coming back to the city. They were celebrating. They were shouting. They were screaming. But when he came back, his home was destroyed.
Yeah.
When he came back, Ziklag was burning, and everything that he had worked for, everything that he had accumulated was gone. They kidnapped his wife. They took the cattle. They burned up everything. And the very same people that were fighting with him, the very same people that were praising him, they began to hate him.
Yeah.
They began to blame him for everything that was going on. The Bible says that David was grieved. He wept. He worried. But then they say he got to a place where he asked God. And he said, "God, is this worth fighting for? Is this worth going after? Is this even worth getting up and going after?" And God told him to go. And the Bible says that David encouraged himself in the Lord. David encouraged himself in the Lord. Somebody is going to miss that in the spirit, and I feel it. What I need you to do is stop waiting on somebody to tell you that you're beautiful.
Yeah.
Stop waiting on somebody to tell you that you're handsome. Stop waiting on somebody to tell you that they love you. Wake up every morning and learn how to encourage yourself. You don't need another word of prophecy. You don't need another seed in the ground. I need you right now to just say, watch this, encourage myself. I am beautiful. I am blessed. I am somebody's husband. I am somebody's wife. I'm more than a conqueror. The Bible says that David encouraged himself. Now, wait a minute. There were so many powerful prophets. There were so many powerful men and women of God of this time. So many evangelists, so many preachers, so many bishops, and you name it. It was just prophetic and holy people all around. But the Bible says God does not send any of them to help him. The Bible says that David encouraged himself, because death and life lies in the power of my tongue. And so I don't have to wait on somebody to tell me beautiful. I don't have to wait on somebody to tell me that I'm handsome. I don't have to wait on somebody to tell me that I'm their woman crush Wednesday, their man crush Monday.
The same people that pour into you could be the same people that tear you down.
Yes.
So you can't allow people to tell you all those things and tell you this and that. You can't allow that, because once you allow that, those same people that you wait on to be like, hello, I'm pretty, or they could be the same people calling you ugly the next day,
and so
that hurt you.
They laugh at me. Joy, she laughs at me sometimes too, because what happens every time I walk by a mirror, I say, "Hey, what's happening, handsome?"
I do the same thing.
I
so
say, hey, what's happening, handsome? And the reason why, I know it may seem silly to some of y'all, but the reason why,
You just have
the
to
reason why I
remind
do
yourself.
that, the reason why I do that, and it's simple. The reason why I do that is because there was a time where I didn't even want to look in the mirror. There was a time when I thought I wasn't nothing because I was in a bitter, broken relationship when I was told that I'll never be in. I'm good now.
You handsome fella.
I'm good now. Confidence through the roof. She knocked my earbud out. And so that was a time where I was in a relationship where I was told that I would never want to be anything, that I was never going to amount to anything, that nobody wanted me. Then people think that it's only women that go through this, but it's men that go through this type of abuse too. But what
That's
happens
true.
with a lot of us, we're too prideful. We're too prideful to admit it. We think we have to be all masculine and macho all the time when we don't even realize that we're hurting on the inside. And so now you get with somebody else and she wonder why you tripping out. She wonder why you insecure. She wonder why you acting as if you cannot love her and support her. And you always tripping when somebody looks at her or she laughs at somebody, jokes and all these things when the insecurity is down inside of you.
And men,
Oh,
please don't think that you are any less of a man if you say you need to be loved
Yes.
or appreciated, because you're not being less of a man. I mean, there's no masculinity,
Yes.
is that right?
That's true.
Towards anything where it comes,
comes
to
to
you
love.
being appreciated
Right.
and loved.
Because she'll
So,
tell you, I told her off the
he'll
back,
tell
I need
me.
to be loved.
He told me, he's like, Joy, I need to be loved.
I need to be loved.
I need to be appreciated.
I done been
I
hurt.
need
I done
to-
been took advantage
Yeah.
of. And I know a lot of people say, oh, it don't take all that. For some of y'all, it might not take all that. But listen, if I'm in a relationship with somebody, I need you to tell me that you love me. I need you
That's
to tell me
true.
that you're here. Even if it sounds corny, even though it makes sense, it might not make sense to them. They might say, this is dumb. But you have to say, hey, you're handsome.
Yeah.
Hey, you're beautiful.
And
Hey,
that's
if
something
nobody
we
tells
try
you
to
that-
practice every day.
And what happens exactly? What happens with us? What you're telling your significant other is, I'm here to support you because I want to see you grow. I want to see you become better. And so when we learn how to support each other in these avenues and these aspects, and so that's how you know if somebody really loves you, is if they support you.
When you
It may
support
be
and not
dumb.
compete.
This girl can tell me that she want to sell paper clips on the beach, and guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna say, okay, I'm on Amazon right now looking at how we can get them for a wholesale price. What beach do you want to go to? Because what happens is when I support you, that means that I believe in you.
Yep, that's true.
And if I believe in you, that's saying that I believe in us. And so what we have to, you know, somebody loves you if they support you. And it doesn't matter if they come into a football game. It doesn't even matter if they come in and hear you say a Christmas speech at the church. It doesn't matter what it is
Or
at
just
life or
something.
Right?
I
You,
mean,
you
don't
say, hey,
matter.
I'm doing this, or they honoring me, or they asking everybody to do that. Support plays a big part of love, because if I really love you, I'll support you regardless of what it is. And that's friendships. That's not even relationships. That's friendships too, because I hate to see it, and so many people call us friend, they call us brother, they call us sister, whatever they want to say it. But and truth be told, we only have a core few people that really support us. Outside of you guys that are on here right now and those that are going to watch this thing later, but I'm just talking about a real group of friends, because when somebody really loves you, they will support you. Whether it's crazy or not, I got people right now that they got some far-fetched ideas. I'm like, where did you get this from? I call her like, you can't believe what they told me they're getting ready to launch or they're getting ready to invest in. But you know what I do? I see, how much money do I have in the account? How much money do you have in your account? What's going on? Because
What we need to do.
What do we need to do to support? Because what you are telling somebody is, I got your back no matter what. And I think that was big for both of us, just learning that, because I'll develop something in my life. I'll be honest. I developed something in my life where I put my back up against the wall, where I got tired of getting stabbed in the back because I thought people had my back, so I just took my back and put it up against the wall. It's because I knew this wall wasn't going to go nowhere. It wasn't going to push me forward, but it wasn't going to push me backwards either. Oh, man, y'all! I know y'all ain't never been there. I know y'all ain't never
been
been
there
there.
before.
And so what the key was for us was seeing somebody have your back, seeing somebody that actually loved you, that actually cared, that actually wanted to see you grow and develop. And then it's hard. It's hard because I still look at her like it's so surreal. I still look at her like, no, you cannot be this amazing. I'm just being honest on this thing. Like, I still look at her like, please don't ever change them. I think I tell her that
Every day.
Every day. Okay, you ain't have to put
I'm just saying.
you ain't have to put the emphasis on every.
I'm just
You ain't have
saying,
to
big
put
fella.
y'all heard how she said that every day. You start talking like one of them old country folks.
Right.
Yo, Louisiana side
Excuse
came
me,
out
sir.
right then.
Excuse
Shout
me.
out to everybody in Louisiana. No offense to y'all, but y'all heard how she put the emphasis on it every day.
Boy, we
Okay,
trying to
they-
be serious. Like we
know,
helping. We
but
helping
this-
here.
It's just raw. It's just
No, I know it. I know
But
it. I
it
know
was it was like that. So every day I tell her, just please don't change on me, because when you have something good, you do all you can to support you, and it's never going to be easy. When something is worth it, it is never easy. That's your career. That's your business, that's your relationship, that is your children, that is your family. Stop thinking that just because stuff is hard that it's not worth it. No, when it is that much harder, that's how you know that it's worth it. Because the devil don't mess with anything that don't have value. He don't care
Hallelujah.
nothing about nothing that don't have value. Some of us have been in relationships that the devil didn't even have to break up.
Jesus.
He didn't even have to step in. He didn't even have to move and matriculate. They broke up themselves because he said, oh, I know that ain't going to last anyway. But when the devil get busy, when the devil try to get on your road, that's how you know you got something good. I hear that prophetically. I don't know who that is for. But when you know the devil is messing with you, that's because you got something good. That's because you got some type of value. And what we have to learn on, the devil don't deal with stuff that don't have no worth, that don't have no value. Why? Because it doesn't mean anything to God. He wants to rip up, he wants to destroy things that mean something to God. So when he's hot on your trail, that means that your value is through the roof. Y'all better
Jesus.
help.
Why'd you have me shouting in Starbucks? They been, boy, what?
My God on this thing right now. So we love each and every one of you guys. Got to go to service. Please. Oh, we late.
6:59.
Oh my God. So we love each and every one of you guys. Please join me in 12 hours. I will be doing corporate prayer 7 a.m. in the morning. I promise you guys, I got the iPad. I have an entire week off from work, so we're doing 7 a.m. prayer every morning. I'm going to try to see if I can get her on some mornings with me. But it's 7 a.m. prayer for each and every one of you guys. We're just going to lift up the word God spoke to me yesterday, and I'm going to share it with y'all. I'll give it some more of y'all tomorrow. But the word God gave me is transformation. Somebody shout transformation right now.
Transformation.
Because I believe that God is getting ready to transform some situations. God is getting ready to transform some outcomes into income. God is getting ready to transform some ringless fingers into some diamond rocking sisters. And so what I want you guys to shout, transform. God, do it for me. God, transform my situation. God, transform my capacity. God, transform everything. And so transform just simply means taking something that was already once there and creating something better, innovating it to the next level. So I'm praying that God not only innovates, but he also anoints your situation. So may God bless y'all. May God keep y'all. We love each and every one of you guys. God bless y'all. Y'all have a beautiful night.
Good night. I love y'all.